presentation on here.
Alrighty, I think we are on. So, anyone who is jumping on at the moment. Okay.
I'm just
anyone who is jumping on at the moment. Sorry. Okay, I think we're on, guys. Awesome. It's jumping on at the moment. Sorry, guys, for those of you who are just tuning in, we're just using a brand new program. So if you can let us know if you're on, if you can hear us, if you're having any issues, that would really help. No, if you're on.
Okay, I can't watch it. Oh,
that would really help. Hey, everyone, we're just trying to sort out this. So,
okay.
Claudes.
Yo.
If you just mute your phone.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Okay.
For some reason.
Yeah, same with mine.
It doesn't allow me to do it.
Hey guys, how you doing? Awesome. Everyone can hear us. That's fantastic. If you're just tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from and say hi to Claudia. Okay. I'm just going to share this. At the moment.
No, I can't look at it.
No, it doesn't work for you. All right, guys, we'll just give us 2 more seconds.
Does it work for you? Can you look on yours or not?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But it's all good. Thanks for being patient, everyone. Hey, Ariel, how are you? Awesome. Hey, Ashley, tuning in from the UK.
Ooh,
awesome.
Hey, guys.
She's a big fan. You've got a fan there, Claudes.
Really?
Yeah. You're famous.
Oh, don't push it.
So who's going to win in the grand final this weekend?
The Crows, and I'm going to be going, aren't I, PJ?
Wow, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. All right, so we'll get cracking. I just wanted to firstly thank everyone for jumping on. I've just got this in the background so I can see that it's still working. Hey, guys. Hey, Darbo. Hey, Jody. How are you? Hey, Donna. Let us know where you're calling in from. So thanks, everyone, for joining us this evening. Really, really excited. Hey, Justine. To have a really, really good friend of mine, Claudia. I can never say your last name properly. Tomczyk? Tom?
Yeah, you got it. You've got it.
Yes, Polish descent. And so just to give you a very brief sort of idea of what we're going to be sort of covering tonight. Some of you have seen that just recently I've entered into a 16-week what's called an Isabody transformation challenge. And it's all about nutrition, exercise, mindset, and really developing long-term lifestyle habits, you know, to create the healthiest version of yourself. You know, whether your goal is to lose weight, whether it's, you know, you need to regain your energy, you want more sleep, you want to be a beast in the gym, you want to improve performance. It doesn't really matter what the goal is. The goal is really to develop those good habits in nutrition, mindset, and exercise. And so I'm really excited about this technology that we've got now where we can actually do interviews like this. I've been waiting for this technology for a little while. And in particular, I wanted to interview Claudia as the very first person for a number of reasons. Like, we're really good friends. We've been friends for now a couple of years. We met at one of the events that we go to in Adelaide or Melbourne. And yeah, she's a little pocket rocket. And, you know, I've been watching her journey closely, especially more recently. She had a very similar sort of thing that's happened to me, which is I went overseas for 3 months. I ate and drank my way through the UK, as most people do. And Claudia had done something similar in Europe, which I'll get her to explain about. And when she came back, you know, she wasn't where she wanted to be. She knew she needed massive change. And just watching her over the last it's been more than 16 weeks now, just completely transform in her mindset and everything that she's doing on a daily basis. It really honestly has inspired me so much. And you are the main person that's inspired me the most to really go for it in the Isabody challenge. So I'm really, really excited to have you on board. So Claudia, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. So what we're going to really talk about tonight is a little bit about Claudia's story, before she started on this 16-week challenge, and even before she started on this nutrition program. And she's going to go into more detail about that. But also, I think it's really important for people to understand, what it is you're actually doing on a day-to-day basis. What is it that has really been the main catalyst for the change that you've had? So without further ado, I want to pass it over to you. Do you want to kind of give the guys a brief or extended version, I should say, of your journey so far?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, everyone. I hope you're having a good night. So I'm just going to take my journey back probably 3 years ago before I started this nutritional cleansing program. And at that time, I was 20 years old, just living life like a normal 20-year-old at the time. But for me, on the outside, I was looking okay. I looked, pretty healthy, pretty fit, but I was one of those people that on the inside, I wasn't feeling the best. So I had no energy. I wasn't really motivated to get up in the mornings, go to the gym or do anything like that. So for me, it wasn't until I was actually on Facebook and I was scrolling through my newsfeed like we all do and sit there on our phones and scrolling, and I came across these before and afters. They kept popping up, and I have a friend who I used to play state netball with was the girl that was posting them, and I was very curious as to what the program was and how it all worked. And in the end, she said to me, Claude, you know what, if you're looking to make a change, this is a perfect opportunity, because if you don't like it or you don't get the results you want in your first 30 days, you can send it back and get a full refund. And so I was just like, yeah, right, well, there's really nothing to lose in that aspect. So, I'd been wanting to make a change for, 3 or 4 months. I finally said yes, and I put the products into my body, and, within my first 30 days, I had dropped a few kilos. But for me, as I said, it wasn't how I looked on the outside at that point in time, but more so how good I felt on the inside. So, my energy levels increased. I was waking up before my alarm, and I was just so much more happier. And people were asking me, what are you doing? You look like you've got so much more energy. And I was kind of just sharing to them, I'm just following this program. So I was happy that I had a bit of routine and structure back into my life at that point in time. I was also starting to become a school teacher, specialising in maths and PE. So I was in my 3rd year of uni. It was a 4-year degree. And at that point in time, I was, fit and healthy, just loving life. And I guess I maintained that for a good, 1.5 to 2 years. I just kept using these products. Something that I thought I would just use for 30 days then led to me using these products every single day for the next 2 years. That's because I generally felt good, and I knew that these products were working with my body. So I was just being a product user, sharing it with people, because I thought at that particular time, if I can feel this good at age, I was 21 at the time then, why can't anyone else feel this good? So I was just helping people online, sharing my journey, sharing my success. And I guess what really changed me, as Peter just touched on, is I went to Europe last year, and I went for 2.5 months. I could only take about 2 weeks worth of products with me. So it was great that I could take some products, but I only had like 23 kilos luggage, so I couldn't take everything. So for majority of my trip, I couldn't use these products, and it really did show me how much these products can transform your life. And for me, I was just living it up. At that time, I was 22, and I was just partying like a normal 22-year-old would. I was, eating 2 pizzas a day, pasta, ice cream, and just, doing what normal people would be doing on a holiday. But for me, I didn't really stress at that particular time, because I knew I could come back to this program when I got home. So I just overindulged over there, and for me it wasn't until I actually got back to Adelaide, so we're talking now, that was August last year, where I let myself blow out, as you can see in my before photo. And I understand for some people, you know, you might tell me you look great in that before photo, and I get that, but for me personally that was big, and I had never looked like that in my whole entire life. So if you can imagine you being at your biggest, you feeling sluggish, tired, and just not your personal self, that's how I was feeling. So I got my mum to take my before photo because I knew I wanted to make another transformation. And, you know, I was actually on stage 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I said, you know, I actually cried for 2 nights straight because I was so embarrassed of what I was looking like and how crappy I felt. So for me, I was just so anxious about who I became. And then it's actually funny, you know, I got my mum to take another photo, and I said to her, Mum, can you take another photo because I need to try and suck in a little bit. And I tried, but nothing was changing. I still looked the same. So that's when it hit me, and that's when I realised, right, I'm going to give this a good crack and see how I go. So that's when Isabody challenge came into play, and I thought, you know what, I've been doing this program for 3 years now, and I haven't been able to actually complete an Isabody challenge. So that's where I sat myself down and I said, you know what, how badly do you want this? And my why was so strong that I registered for my first 16-week challenge. I smashed out my first 30 days, and, you know, everybody's different in their results that they get. But for me, my first 30, I lost 4.5 kilos. And then, you know, I continued my first 16 weeks. As you can see down there is my leg transformation as well. That was my last day in Greece. So for me personally, I've held a lot down in my lower body. So yeah, I finished my first 16 weeks. I got great results, and then I decided to do the start, complete, repeat, and enter myself in another 16 weeks. So that before and after photo you see in the middle, that's 2 16-week challenges back to back. And the best thing about this program and what I love, you know, sharing to people is that this is a lifestyle change. It's not a quick fix. You know, yes, that's 8 months different, but 8 months is really not that long. And I can confidently say that in that 8 months, I wasn't doing a diet. I wasn't following a diet. I was, you know, incorporating these products into my daily routine, yet still living a balanced lifestyle, which I think is so important. So, you know, if I wanted to have some, you know, bad foods here and there, I'm all for that, because your body does need that. So, yeah, I finished my my 2 16-week challenges. I was awarded a finalist spot, which was, you know, I was so stoked about. So now I'm in the running to win grand prize, which is announced in March. And I think for me now, it's just maintenance. I'm happy with the person who I am now. I'm so confident in my own skin. I look at myself in the mirror. I'm stoked. And that's what I really just want other people to feel now, whether you're young, old, male, female, whatever your goals are. I just want you guys to know that, you know, we've got a program here that can help you not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, and just a whole range. It's more than just a product, I believe. So yeah, now I guess, you know, I'm 23. I share this program full time with people, and I love reaching a whole range of people around the world. So yeah, that's a bit about me and my extended story.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. I'm sure everyone was loving that. Can you just sort of tell us a little bit more about the actual Isabody challenge? Like you kind of touched on a little bit of it. You know, yeah. What is it about? What does it entail? Yeah. What do you have to do, sort of thing? Like, you know, just so everyone's a little bit more familiar with it all.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess within this company that offers these programs, they have an Isabody challenge. So essentially it's a 16-week challenge where you register yourself into the program, and in order to do that, you just upload some before photos into your own personal account, so no one else can see them. You don't need to freak out that the whole Facebook world will see them. No, they don't. It's just your own little, you know, account which you can, keep your own little pictures and measurements and whatnot in there. So you register into that, and then, you go for your 16 weeks, and then in order to finish the challenge, you post your after photos, whether that's you losing 2 kilos, 20 kilos, or you gaining 2 kilos of lean muscle, it doesn't matter. But you post your after photos and a short essay to explain, how these products and how this challenge has transformed your life. And yeah, with that, you get $200 worth of free products. You get, a bit of merchandise and whatnot. So I think what I really love about the challenge is that I just touched on it before, but, it is really teaching us that it is a lifestyle change. It does go for 16 weeks. So that is 4 months. A lot of other challenges out there are 8-week challenges. So you go super hard for a short period of time, but then, majority of people bounce back because they went on such a strict diet. But I find with the Isabody challenges, 4 months, you can make short-term goals within that long-term goal. And that's something that I did. So yeah, once you've finished it, you never know, you can become a finalist, which I did. And if you're a finalist, you win $3,000. All these trips interstate, like to a massive celebration. You win a trip to the Isabody retreat, which we're going to Port Douglas for, which is super exciting. And then obviously you're one of 12 in order to win the grand prize, which is another 10K and, all expenses trip to America. So I think the biggest thing, there's so many prizes, and I think that's just an extra bonus. But for me, it's, you look at me and like I see my before and after, and I'm so happy and I'm so proud of that. And I think that's the biggest thing. And that's what I love about the Isabody challenge. It's start, complete and repeat, and you just keep going and just keep going. And people ask me, like, what are you going to do now that you finished your challenge? Well, right now I'm in my 3rd challenge, and it's just something that I'll just keep going and keep registering in myself. So yeah, that's a little bit about the challenge, PJ.
Yeah. Awesome. And that's what I love about it as well. Like, I've been doing this for 3 years, but it's only just now that I've realized my poor mindset choices. Like I put a post up about this the other day, is that I was justifying my, going out and drinking a lot and, not eating the right foods, not exercising as much. I was justifying that, saying it's all about balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if anyone can relate to that on this, but my balance was 10% good, 90% bad. Yeah. And I was saying, it's balance,
Yeah. I think the biggest thing with it and how I was able just to, get these amazing results is being consistent over a period of time. And, it's not being super strict for the 4 months, but if you just are consistent and make those small changes over, the period of time, you will then, receive a big result in the end.
Yeah, totally. And, for those people who are watching have never, done nutritional cleansing as well, you don't have to enroll into the Isabody 16-week challenge. That's just an extra tool there for you to plug into. But what happens is most people will start the program and, within the first few weeks, they're feeling amazing. They're getting these incredible results. And then, they might decide, right, let's do the Isabody challenge and really go for it. And what I've loved about the whole process so far is like how easy I've been able to make it. Like I didn't want it to be chicken and broccoli 4 meals a day, like, so I'm having 3 superfood shakes and 3 meals a day. And that's me personally, because I'm doing a lot of heavy weights training and all that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to put on muscle. But it's just that the whole process has been a lot easier than I thought it would be. But really the big change for me has just been the mindset shift. It's weird. Like I just decided that I wanted to do it. And from that day, it's been so much fun, and having a plan with my training, a plan with my nutrition, having the mindset stuff, like it all sort of comes in when you do the Isabody challenge.
Yeah, exactly. And I think just touching on that, like with me, when I decided to do my first 16 weeks, I had in my mind so badly that I wanted to become a finalist, right? And in my first 16 weeks, I was rewarded an honorable mention, which is one below a finalist. So, to me personally, I was shattered, but it also just led me to keep going, which I think was such an important thing. Like in that period of time, I know we're going to touch on a bit of like setbacks and stuff later on, but for me, I could have stopped, but I knew I had more to transform my body, so that's when I kept going. But I'll talk a little bit about that after.
Yeah. So can you just kind of give your brief explanation of what is nutritional cleansing, and like why is it important, and how do you sort of incorporate both nutritional cleansing, healthy eating, and exercise? Like, what's your week to week look like?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll be completely honest with you guys. When I first started this program, I had no idea about nutrition. I had no idea about, about food and health. And, I was playing netball for South Australia. So, I was quite athletic, but what I was putting into my body, I didn't really care. And I guess that was a reflection of why I felt crappy. And I think the biggest thing nowadays is food isn't the same as what it used to be. So it's not as nutrient dense as 20 years ago. So that's where nutritional cleansing comes into play, and that's where we can really fuel our body at its best. So for me, I kind of, there's a lot of people that do a lot of research and, they want to see the evidence behind things. But for me, I was just like, I'm going to put these products in my body, and if I feel good, then I know they work. If I don't feel good, I'll send it back and get my refund. So for me, back 3 years ago, I put them in my body and I felt good. Once I got back from Europe, it really showed me how important these products are, because when I went away, I felt not very good again, because I wasn't putting these products into my body. And, secondly, it just, built my belief so much more because I was able to achieve that transformation. So I think, my days, how it looks like, ever since I started this program, I've incorporated intermittent fasting, which is called our cleansing days. So it's just a time to give your digestive system a break. If you look at it, we clean our house, we clean our car, but when do we ever clean our insides? And, it's not a cleanse where you're sitting on the toilet or anything like that. So I incorporate cleanse days once a week, and I've been doing that ever since I started this program for the last 3 years. But in my weight loss phase from when I got back to Europe, I was actually doing 1 week single cleanse. So that's a 24-hour fast. And then the following week, I was doing a double cleanse, which is a 48-hour fast. And then I'll just keep changing it up. So single, double, single, double. And they do say on your second day, you're burning 80% more fat. So I was doing that, once a week, and incorporating also the other products within the program. So I was having 2 shakes a day. And to be honest, when I first heard shakes, I was very skeptical. But once you actually, look into it and see what's in these shakes, you wonder why you do feel good, because they're the nutrients that you're missing out from the whole food. So I have 2 shakes a day, 2 meals, and 1 to 2 snacks. And that's now because I am exercising a lot. But when I first started, when I got back from Europe, exercise was not on my mind whatsoever. Like you can see in my face, I just was unhappy. The last thing I wanted to do was go to the gym. I just wanted to drop that weight, and I wanted to drop it fast. So then, I followed the system to a T back then, and I did 2 shakes, 1 meal, and 2 snacks. But obviously, I'm such an advocate for the more you exercise, the more you fuel your body. And that's what happened to me. I was fueling my body more, so my metabolism increased, and, therefore I was seeing the results. So, yeah, that's like what I do now, PJ. So I do 2 shakes, 2 meals, and 2 snacks in the day, and I cleanse once a week. And, if on the weekend, if I want to go out for dinner and drinks, I'm more than happy to, and that's the biggest thing. I don't have guilt anymore. Back in the day, I'd go out for a delicious dinner, maybe overeat, and then, I'd feel so guilty about eating all that food, and that's actually, making it worse for my body. But now I just know if I'm feeling like a bucket of hot chips, I'll eat a bucket of hot chips because my body wants that, but I'm not eating a bucket of hot chips every single night like maybe I used to back in the day.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, that's the same with me as well. Like in terms of the exercise side of things, when I came home, the last thing I wanted to do was go to the gym. So I started off, like, really the first week was just really focusing on incorporating the nutrition into my routine and doing 2 shakes, 2 meals, 2 snacks, probably about the same. And then I adjusted. But then pretty quickly, like, I started feeling loads better, and then I got into the gym, and then
That's the thing. Like, what I say to my people if I'm sharing this program is, don't worry about exercise just yet. Let's get your nutrition on point, because that's where you're going to really see your results. Majority of achieving results is through your nutrition. Once you are feeling good and you've gained that energy, then you'll want to exercise. So for me now, I invested into a personal trainer because I knew my nutrition was on point, but I was probably lacking in the type of training that I was doing. So I do PT 3 times a week. 2 times is lower body and 1 time is upper body. So, lifting heavy weights. And I think that's played an important role in my transformation as well, in order to really lean out. So I do PT 3 times a week, as well as Orange Theory twice a week. I know there's not many Orange Theory gyms around Australia, but that's just like a target heart rate zone cardio gym. So it's really good.
Yeah, awesome. And so we touched on it earlier before, like, what have been some of the challenges, because everyone sees all the amazing transformation and all that sort of stuff and the bright, bubbly photos, but were there any challenges that you faced during the challenge, or, after or before, anything like that?
Yeah.
And what did you do to sort of get around it?
Yeah, for sure. I think, the majority of my challenges were probably at the start of my 16 weeks, because if you can imagine, you're kind of in that cycle, you're kind of in that rut of just not feeling great and wanting to go back to bad foods. But what I, really like to share to people is that if you're just consistent and eat well for 1 to 2 weeks, your body will then start to adjust and it will become a lot easier for you. My why was so strong, like, I want to become the healthiest and fittest 23-year-old out there. I really want to become an influencer, impact other people. So, not only do I want to transform myself, but I want to show you guys what's possible and that you can do it by living a healthy, balanced lifestyle. You don't need to be super strict. So I think my major setbacks is probably just, 4 months is a long time, but I think I got over the fact that this is not a diet, this is a lifestyle change. So you might go, 30 days or 5 weeks of not really seeing many changes, but then, the next month you'll see a lot of changes. So I remember in my first 16 weeks, my first 30 days, I dropped 4.5 kilos. And then, my weight started to just plateau. But I just knew I had to keep going, because I just went back to my why. I've actually got a vision board, of the body type that I wanted to kind of look like, not someone skinny or anything like that. I want to be fit and strong and, have muscles. I don't want to be buff, but I just want to look lean, kind of thing. So I think for me, it was just to keep going. Sometimes, you wake up in the morning and you think to yourself, like, I had a lot of times thinking, why am I doing this? Why am I putting my body through all this, exercise, and my body hurts and things like that. But trust me, guys, your mind is so powerful. And if you just think that thought, you can quickly think it back to what you want it to be, and you keep pushing through. The days that you don't want to get out of bed, just get out, because it's going to be a lot better than just staying there. You know what I mean? So I think it's just those little things. I think a big thing for my first 16 weeks, as I said, I was manifesting Isabody finalists. I could see myself on the stage. Everything was Isabody finalists, and I didn't, right? And that cut me. As I said, I was shattered for about 3 days. It took me a good 3 days. And that's with some good personal development that I've learned over the years. It still took me 3 days to get over it. But then I used that, because I just knew that I was going to get on the stage, and I know that I become an Isabody winner, right? So that could have broke me, and I could have, gone back and, dwelled on it for so long. But I used that feeling inside to keep going, and I knew that my body could still transform, and people were telling me that your body can still change. And, I'm so glad that I kept going, because now I am so happy and I feel so damn good. And I wake up every morning going like, life's great, I feel good, how many more people can I impact? So, yeah, I guess I haven't had big setbacks, but I guess this challenge really allows you to stay on track and to keep chasing your goals.
Yeah. Love that. And I'm so proud of you. I remember how devastated you were when that happened, but you just kept going, and now look at you. So for any of you guys who are still watching on this live, like, feel free to give some love hearts and some comments. I know that she would love to hear how amazing she's looking. She absolutely smashed it. But yeah, just to finish off, like, because one thing that I know, having done this, myself, obviously starting 3 years ago, just in terms of using these products, I was super skeptical. Like pretty much most people, when they first see it, they think it's another shake diet, or they think, what's this cleansing stuff? Like, and so many people dismiss it before they really understand. And that was myself, and before they've even tried the product. So I don't know how anyone can really pass an opinion until they've really tried the products properly. And I come across this all the time when I'm speaking to people about it. But like, what would you say to people who are sort of sitting on the fence? Maybe they've been watching your journey, or maybe they've been watching my journey, but they're just like, no, it's not for me, or I'm not sure about it. What would you say to those people? Because you and I have both been in that, on the other side of the fence as well.
Yeah, that's a good question, because I like when people say that, I can totally relate. It took me a couple of months to finally say yes, but that's one of my biggest regrets, taking 3 months to finally say yes, because I look back at it and I think, just imagine if I started 3 months earlier, where would I be now? Or, within my first 30 days, where would I have been if I did start 3 months earlier? So what I usually say to people is that, you're either on this live watching it because you're curious, you're wanting to make a change, or you've either, been in contact with PJ or myself or somebody or whoever, you're wanting to make a change. So I think, personally, you've heard my story, you hear a lot of other people's story, and the biggest thing that got me over the line, and the biggest thing that I stress to other people, is that, you've got that 30-day money back. So the company has realized that being healthy is damn expensive, and there's nothing else out there where you can really, you go to a health food shop and you want to try their protein, yet you go home and open it and you can't return it. So I think, when I first started, I had a mindset of, I'm actually going to do this for 30 days and send it back. Like, I literally thought I would send these products back, and I was just one of those cheeky devils who thought they would just eat for free for 30 days and send it back. But I generally felt so damn good. And, I think the biggest thing is 3 years later, that just shows, how much these products can transform your life, because I won't go a day now without using these products, because, they make me feel amazing. So I think if anyone is thinking about it, what's there to lose? You can either try it now and in 30 days, transform, feel great, and, set bigger goals, or in 30 days, try it and it might not be for you, and that is okay. I'm not here to say to people that everyone needs to try this program and this program is for everyone, but at least you've given it a shot, and if it's not for you, then you can send it back. But I think, summer's coming up. You want to feel good, you want to feel fit, you want to feel healthy. So, there's no point sitting there doing the same thing over and over again for the next month if you're feeling crap. You can at least try something new and see if it's for you. That kind of rhymes.
Yeah, you're a gangster. I love that. Thank you so much for jumping on and, really sharing all the parts of your journey and what this is all about. And you're such an amazing ambassador to the company, to the products, and to yourself, like, just for people that want to make a change. Like, there are so many different things out there that people can do, but so many people just don't even decide to make a change. I think that's the biggest thing, that people keep putting it off or justifying or giving excuses and all that sort of stuff. You know, I think the key is, if what you're doing isn't working, or what you've been trying isn't working, you've got to keep trying different things until you find what works for you. This might not be for you, but this could very well be for you, and it could be life-changing like it has been for Claudia. And if it's not, you know, if you don't get the best results ever, then just send it back and you get all your money back. So there's no harm in finding out really what it's about, trying it for yourself. And if it is, then, you know, your health is your number one asset. You know, and what I've noticed just in the last few weeks of really starting to feel awesome is just everything else in my life is starting to become easier. I'm more motivated. I'm more happy. I'm more focused at work. And, you know, the impact that good health has is amazing. And the impact that bad health has is just as bad, if that makes sense. So, yeah, did you want to finish off with anything?
Yeah, I just like to say to people, usually if I knew how much these products would transform my life, I would have paid like triple the amount. Yeah. You just don't know, like when you first start, you hear all these success stories, but you have self-doubt that you can actually achieve that. So that's what I love just showing people, is that, you know, you can achieve anything you want if you put your mind to it. And majority of the time it's all mindset. And I think, you know, for me, over the last 3 years, the person that I've become now to who I was when I was 20 years old, you know, to think that a product or a company can help transform you as a person, I think means the world to me. So, yeah, if you guys are just wanting to make a change in any aspect of your life, you know, reach out, because we're only here to help anyone. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in live, and anyone who is watching the recording later. You know, if any of this resonates with anyone, or you've got friends or family that could really, you know, might really want to hear this story and what it's all about, please, you know, hit the share button or tag anyone, you know, or show them this, because it, you know, you could really make a massive impact in either your life or someone else's life. So really appreciate everyone's time for jumping on. Thanks so much. And I'll be back probably next week with another Isabody finalist. So stay tuned, everyone, and have a great night.